Most people think their day starts when they open their laptop. That's already too late. Here's the uncomfortable truth your brain doesn't want you to hear. How happy, focused, and emotionally stable you'll feel today is decided before 9 a.m., often before you even realize you're making choices. And no, this has nothing to do with motivation, genetics, or being a morning person. It's about invisible systems running your mind on autopilot. If you wake up feeling rushed, reactive, or already tired, even on easy days, this video is going to hit close to home. Because the real problem isn't that your life is hard. It's that your mornings are unconsciously programming stress, inconsistency, and mental noise before the day even begins. Stay with me, because once you understand how these first minutes shape your mindset, productivity, discipline, and emotional resilience, you'll stop relying on willpower and start building systems that make feeling better the default. Stay quiet, stay sharp, stay in progress. Habit number 1, the 60-second reset. Most people wake up and immediately surrender their mindset to whatever screams first. Notifications, headlines, other people's urgency. But neuroscience is clear. The first minute after waking is when your brain is most emotionally programmable. Cortisol rises naturally, and whatever you expose yourself to becomes the emotional baseline. 60 seconds of breathing and awareness, just noticing you're awake, increases serotonin and reduces stress signals. That's not mindfulness hype. It's biology doing its job. This habit works because it creates orientation before stimulation. You're telling your brain, I'm here, I'm safe, I'm in control. That single pause improves mental focus and reduces impulsive behavior later in the day. Discipline doesn't start with pushing harder. It starts with not reacting automatically. In self-development, restraint is often more powerful than effort. Skip this step, and your brain starts the day already behind. Habit number 2, morning light exposure. Once the brain is calm, it needs one more signal, light. 2 minutes of natural morning light through a window or outside tells your brain it's daytime. This resets your circadian rhythm, boosts serotonin, and stabilizes mood and energy for hours. People blame fatigue on lack of motivation, when in reality, their internal clock is misaligned. Fix the signal and productivity improves without forcing focus. Here's the deeper insight. Habit number 1 calms the nervous system. Habit number 2 activates it correctly. Together, they create emotional stability without effort or complexity. No apps, no rituals, no overwhelm, just clear signals sent early. When your brain feels oriented and synchronized, it starts looking for proof that today is under control. And that's when behavior changes, starting with the first small win that tells your brain, I finish what I start. Habit number 3, make your bed. After your brain is calm and synchronized, it asks a quiet question. Do I act or do I drift? Making your bed answers that immediately. It's a small physical completion that releases dopamine, not excitement, but momentum. Psychology shows that early task completion trains the brain to expect progress, not chaos. This single action reframes your mindset from passive to active. Productivity doesn't start with ambition. It starts with proof. This habit works because your brain learns by evidence, not intention. When you make your bed, you're sending a message. Effort leads to order. That reduces mental noise and increases mental focus for the next decisions of the day. It's a classic life lesson people ignore because it feels basic. But basic habits repeated daily build discipline faster than complex systems that collapse under pressure. Habit number 4, 10 deep breaths. Right after that first win, breathing resets the nervous system again, this time on purpose. 10 slow, deep breaths activate the parasympathetic system in under a minute, lowering anxiety and sharpening clarity. The key is the exhale. Make it longer than the inhale. This tells your brain there's no immediate threat, and a calm brain thinks better, manages time better, and reacts less. Here's the hidden connection. Habit number 3 builds momentum. Habit number 4 protects it. Without calm, momentum turns into stress. Without momentum, calm turns into stagnation. Together, they create controlled energy, the state where discipline feels natural instead of forced. Once your brain feels capable and regulated, it becomes ready for fuel. And what you put into your body next will either support that clarity or quietly sabotage it. Habit number 5, drink water before coffee. Most people stimulate a dehydrated brain and then wonder why their focus feels sharp for 30 minutes and crashes hard later. After hours of sleep, your brain wakes up slightly dehydrated, which directly affects mood, concentration, and emotional regulation. Drinking water before coffee improves cognitive function and stabilizes energy. It's a simple correction with outsized impact on productivity and mindset. Hydration first tells your brain, we're supporting you, not stressing you. This habit also protects you from the caffeine trap. When you hydrate first, caffeine works as an enhancer, not a crutch. Mood becomes more stable, and the mid-morning crash loses its grip. Psychology shows that many people mistake stimulation for energy when what they actually need is support. This one change improves time management because your mental clarity lasts longer. Fewer resets, fewer distractions, fewer emotional dips. Habit number 6, 1 minute of joyful movement. Before your brain handles tasks, it needs movement, but not punishment. 60 seconds of gentle, enjoyable movement releases endorphins and improves mood durability. Stretching, light mobility, dancing to one song, even a short walk counts. This isn't about fitness, it's about signaling vitality. Your nervous system reads movement as readiness, not obligation. Here's the deeper layer. Habit number 5, fuels the brain. Habit number 6, wakes the body. Together, they create coherence. When the body feels alive and supported, mental focus improves without forcing discipline. That's how personal growth becomes embodied, not theoretical. And once your brain feels energized and emotionally steady, it becomes capable of something most people skip: intentional direction. Not a to-do list, but a decision about who you're going to be today. Habit number 7, write one daily intention. This is where most morning routines fail. They confuse movement with direction. Writing one intention for the day isn't about tasks or productivity hacks. It's about emotional orientation. A single sentence like, "Today I protect my peace," or "Today I respond, I don't react," gives your brain clarity. Psychology shows that the brain performs better when it knows how to show up, not just what to do. This habit reduces mental overload instantly. What makes this a game changer is that it collapses decision fatigue before it starts. Instead of negotiating your behavior all day, you pre-decide it. That's real discipline, removing choices, not adding pressure. This habit quietly upgrades mindset, emotional regulation, and personal growth. Most people underestimate it because it looks simple on paper. But simple signals, repeated daily, reshape identity faster than motivation ever will. Habit number 8, avoid negative inputs in the first hour. The first hour after waking is when your brain is most impressionable. News, drama, conflict, and stress during this window don't just inform you, they program you. Psychology calls this priming. Expose your brain to negativity early, and it becomes your emotional reference point for the day. Protecting this hour isn't avoidance, it's strategic self-development. Here's the insight most people miss. You don't need to consume less information, you need to consume it later. Delaying negative inputs preserves mental focus, emotional resilience, and time management throughout the day. This is how high performers stay calm in chaotic environments. They don't harden themselves, they control the order of exposure. And once your emotional baseline is protected, your brain becomes capable of something powerful, reframing the day toward meaning instead of pressure. Habit number 9, 30-second gratitude scan. Most people wait for something good to happen before they feel grateful. Neuroscience flips that logic. A quick, intentional gratitude scan, just 30 seconds, increases dopamine and shifts how your brain filters reality. You don't need a journal or long reflection. Just recall one person, one moment, or one thing that's already working. This trains your mindset to notice opportunity instead of threat. And what you notice shapes how you behave. This habit matters because your brain is a prediction machine. If it expects stress, it finds stress. Gratitude doesn't make you passive, it makes you precise. Psychology shows that people with this practice develop better emotional regulation and stronger mental focus. It's one of those life lessons that sounds soft until you realize it improves decision-making and productivity. When your emotional lens shifts, your actions follow. Habit number 10, the happiness anchor. Right after gratitude, you anchor the emotion, one small intentional action that creates genuine joy. A song you love, a meaningful photo, a short walk outside. This isn't indulgence, it's conditioning. Your brain learns this day contains safety and reward. That creates emotional resilience, a buffer against stress later. Think of it as psychological armor, not escapism. Here's the deeper layer. Habit number 9, reframes perception. Habit number 10, stabilizes it. Together, they build emotional durability instead of fragile positivity. This is how people stay grounded under pressure, not because they ignore stress, but because they trained their nervous system early. And once your emotional state feels stable and reinforced, your brain becomes ready for the final upgrade. Habits that lock focus and reduce mental friction before the day accelerates. Habit number 11, delay input, create output. Before the world asks anything from you, create something, even if it's small. Writing a paragraph, outlining the day, thinking through one problem. Psychology shows that producing before consuming increases cognitive control and reduces reactivity. When you start the day only consuming, your brain stays in response mode. But when you create first, your mindset shifts to agency. This single habit upgrades productivity and self-development fast. This isn't about doing your hardest task immediately. It's about proving to your brain that you're not just available, you're intentional. 5 focused minutes are enough. No phone, no tabs, just output. That early act of creation strengthens discipline and protects mental focus later when distractions multiply. It's a quiet move with long-term impact on how you manage time and attention. Habit number 12. Create an end-of-day finish line. Most people don't struggle with productivity. They struggle with unfinished days. Their brain never gets the signal that it's allowed to shut down. That's why anxiety lingers at night and mental fatigue carries into the next morning. Defining a clear finish line early in the day gives your brain something it desperately needs: closure. When your mind knows when enough is enough, focus sharpens automatically. This habit isn't about what you do, it's about when you're done. A single sentence like, "When this one thing is complete, today counts as a win," reduces cognitive overload immediately. Psychology shows that the brain performs better when success has a boundary. Without a finish line, effort feels endless. With one, discipline becomes lighter and time management improves naturally. What makes this powerful is that it protects your energy instead of draining it. You stop negotiating with yourself all day, wondering if you've done enough. That internal negotiation is what exhausts mental focus. A defined endpoint turns productivity into a contained system, not an emotional struggle. This is personal growth designed for sustainability, not burnout. And here's the quiet payoff most people miss. When your brain experiences consistent closure, it starts trusting your systems. Stress drops, sleep improves, mornings get easier. This is how success becomes automatic. Not because you worked harder, but because your mind finally knew when it was allowed to rest. Knowing this changes nothing if you don't act on it. So here's the real question. Which one of these habits are you going to apply tomorrow morning? Not perfectly, just intentionally. You don't need all 12. You need one system working consistently. Because happiness, focus, and emotional stability aren't personality traits. They're outcomes of small decisions repeated daily. The way you wake up shapes how you live. If your days feel heavy, reactive, or inconsistent, stop blaming motivation. Inconsistency isn't a character flaw. It's a system problem. Fix the system, and discipline becomes lighter. Energy lasts longer. Mental focus stops leaking. This is how you actually learn how to live better, not by doing more, but by doing what matters first. Now, if this video helped you see your mornings differently, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. This channel exists for one reason: to upgrade your mind, one idea at a time, with evidence-based self-development, productivity, and life lessons that actually work in real life. And before you go, don't stop here. Morning habits set the tone, but systems are what make success automatic. That's why you need to watch the next video on your screen. Success is hard until you fix these 5 invisible systems. I ignored number 3 for years. Because habits start the change, systems make it stick.